What's up, guys? Welcome to Frank's Media and Reviews, and welcome to the 12th episode of the Physical Media Club. Today's guest has been holding his YouTube channel down like Charlie Brown since 2009. With his wealth of knowledge, his passion for horror movies, and the longevity of his channel, he has become the pillar for the collector, horror, and physical media communities here on YouTube. This man is so good at reviews. He got me to buy Wes Craven's The Hills Have Eyes Part 2. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Pizowell. So, hey, Perry, what's going on?
I apologize.
I haven't watched it yet, so.
Okay. Well, then, you've got an experience ahead of you. Then
I know. Yeah, your video. You are very good at describing movies and how you described that movie. It was very intriguing, and so I had to get it.
Well, look, everybody has to see The Hills Have Eyes 2 at least once in their lives. So, you've got that pleasure lying ahead of you. It's in the past for me. I can't go back.
I can't go back. Well, welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time to be on my channel in this interview series. I want to let everyone know that, of course, Pizowell, all of his social media accounts, all of them will be down in the description section. But if you don't know who this man is, go ahead, Pizowell, and just let everyone know who you are and what your channel is all about.
Oh man, my channel? Well, who am I? Wow, you didn't say this was going to be a therapy session. I grew up in the video store. That's sort of where my story begins. And I can vividly remember somehow just finding myself standing in front of the horror section as if it had called to me. I was just guided there. And I was just absolutely in awe at all of the artwork on the VHS boxes. There was just something about it that spoke to me, and I was in love from that day forward with horror. Everything about horror. It just sucked me right in. And so I grew up in the video store and renting the good, the bad, and the god awful. If it was horror, I rented it. And when I was in my teens and early 20s, there was a video store in my town, and the guy who owned it, he had a prodigious horror section. He had everything from your big franchise titles all the way down to stuff that was like shot in some guy's backyard on a VHS camera.
Mm-hmm.
And I rented just about all of it. So I saw everything from that guy's video store. And as far as the birth of my YouTube channel, my intro to YouTube and really the whole, not just horror movie collecting community, but just the movie community and the physical media community, was courtesy of Dead Pit. I don't think I even was aware there was YouTube at that time. And one day I just decided, hey, there was this really cool, it seemed so like YouTube and that community seemed so small, especially to what it is today.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of got to know some of the other people who were posting videos and talking about movies. And a big thing back in the day was DVD updates. And yeah, that was a big niche on YouTube back in the day. And I don't know, one day it was kind of serendipitous. I became aware of YouTube. I sort of fell in love with the community. And one day my mother said, hey, I won a camera on the Game Show Network. Do you want it? Wow. She won. I think I've still got that thing somewhere, just this little camera. And it was just like the dominoes all falling. Discovered YouTube, fell in love with the community. Hey, here, you want a free camera?
Mhm.
So shot my first video.
Yeah.
And that's just what, like everything that's had any kind of like real longevity in my life, I didn't put much thought into it. I didn't plan ahead. I just did it. And God, I don't know if I want to date myself here, but all these years later, many, many years later, I'm here I am.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, we will talk about that. Of course, your journey, just you just staying with it, all the transitions, all the ups and downs of YouTube and
mm,
everything.
mm,
But um, I usually one, that was a damn good intro.
thank you.
Two is that generally before I kind of ask the questions, like the ones that you kind of just naturally answered, I want to talk. I usually start with like icebreakers,
Oh, sure.
and so I love your videos with Jeremy and tasting food. One of them is so damn funny. Is okay. One is, of course, the one where I believe it was a Mountain Dew. Was a flaming hot Mountain Dew
Oh,
one. That
oh,
video was pretty damn funny. And I love when Jeremy just goes all in, and then you gotta like slow him down a little bit, like the one in that video. Uh, it's hilarious, man. But what is your favorite memory of those videos? Because they're pretty popular as well.
mhm.
And they're very enjoyable. And I'm pretty sure that you have had some memorable experiences with interesting food. So, what is the one that really stands out to you?
Oh man. We did one. KFC introduced vegan chicken, and we did a video about their vegan chicken. And my God, it was like eating dirt. It tasted like dirt. It was so bad. And I look over at Jeremy, and he's just just gobbling, and I'm like, do you even have taste buds? Like, can you not tell that this is horrible? And he just is just chowing down on this stuff.
Yeah.
God, that was bad. They got rid of that pretty quickly, because that was a horrible. Oh my God, that was bad. That was a bad one. Or well, I mean, that's a memorable one. Oh man, I mean, there's the Flaming Mountain Dew one. I kind of had a feeling that was not going to be very good. So, and a lot of the times with these videos, I just have to kind of get out of Jeremy's way,
Hmm.
especially nowadays. Like, Jeremy is I have no idea what he's going to say. I have no idea what's going to come out of his mouth. Um, so most of the time I just kind of let him go,
Hmm.
and he'll say things, or he'll reference something, and it just kind of like, but he also, and here's the thing, I don't know if people really get this when they watch the Jeremy videos. Like, Jeremy has a sense of humor. Jeremy has a dark sense of humor,
Hmm. Love it.
and he likes to to trick me, and throw curveballs at me every now and again. He does. And another thing, when the camera comes on, Jeremy like gets into character. Like, you can literally see it. Like, he kind of perks up, and he tilts his head, and
Yeah.
he gets right into character. And so I don't know, he's really taken to the whole YouTube thing. And I mean, he loves to, like, when we're at conventions and we meet people, he loves to talk to them and shake their hand or give them a hug, tell them he's a cat dad.
Hashtag cat dad.
Yeah, the last convention we went to, he made it a point to tell every single person, including the celebrities we met, I'm a cat dad. So yeah, he's just a character, and I never quite know what's going to come out of his mouth. But I got, really probably one of the most memorable things, um the one that really comes to mind, and Jeremy, this wasn't a video Jeremy was in. This was a video I did about Jeremy. This was almost like my introduction, my channel introduction to Jeremy.
Okay.
Not that I didn't talk about him in videos. He just really wasn't a part of them.
Mm-hmm.
And believe it or not, like people today, if you weren't around years ago, there was a time where Jeremy refused to go to the movies. Refused.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had a bad experience in school. I think because for Jeremy to sit down and just stay seated for any period of time is
Mm-hmm.
difficult for him. So I
Mm-hmm.
think he had a difficult experience as a kid. His school, they took him to see like 101 Dalmatians or something. I think they're like, no, Jeremy, you got to sit still. You got to sit there. And his, I can just imagine him, just not liking that. So,
Yeah.
but it was the movie The Suicide Squad. For some reason, that's the movie he decided, I want to go see that, and we're going to go see that, period.
Mm-hmm.
And he did not let me forget about it. Of course, he has a thing for blondes, and Margot Robbie was a mean blonde woman in that movie, of course. So.
Hello. Yeah.
But the video I did afterwards, I think it's called The Power of Movies, was just talking about how much he didn't like going to the movies and how much this movie changed that. And literally, like right after that movie, he told me, this is the next one we're going to see. And that's how it's been. If he wants to go see a movie, he will tell me, and he will remind me early and often that we're going to go see it. So that was Final Destination Bloodlines. As soon as that movie got announced, it was on the schedule, and he did not forget.
Yeah.
The next one is 28 years later. It's on the schedule. He's not going to let me forget. After that, it's the I Know What You Did Last Summer movie on the schedule. He's not going to let me forget. And there's another one. There's another one, and I can't even. If he was here, he'd remind me and look at me like I'm dumb that I forgot. But now he is a hardcore moviegoer, and so that was a video that was and how quickly my community
Mm-hmm.
embraced Jeremy
Mm-hmm.
at that point was something that was really that touched me. So, and then from there on, Jeremy's just been a staple on the channel.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is that first of all, you mentioned how much he kind of goes into character a little bit, which is kind of surprises me just like a little bit. Like he knows that, it's game time or showtime.
He does.
And that's flipping awesome, man.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah.
He's even like his little his farewell in every video is peace.
Yeah.
When we meet people in public, and he's peace. or like if we're doing something and like he's ready to go, peace. So we could be in the middle of doing something with somebody. He's like, peace. That means I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
That's his little inside. That's him nudging me like, come on, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh my goodness, man. That is so cool, man. Heck yeah. Because he's been on a staple basically for 8 years, something like that.
God, yeah.
Right. And so I think that's really just like I said, I love those type of videos. It's not just you blend, or I should say you mix different type of videos.
Oh yeah.
Which makes I'm pretty sure you as a content creator gets like the hamsters rolling, like what type of videos, fun videos that I can do, besides of course like the typical horror or physical media like reviews, stuff like that. And so yeah, I simply love the mix, and it's been going on for a long time. So heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. So you mentioned how Dead Pit was very influential to you starting the YouTube channel, right? And what I've interviewed multiple people. I said this is the 12th interview that I've done, and I'm very fortunate to have made friends with a lot of friends who are creators and stuff like that, and a lot of them contribute their starting a channel to Dead Pit, to you, and to just to like the older, more veteran creators, and so that's just something to I think there's something that you have built by one, it being yourself, um, because what I've learned is that that's the key, like being, being yourself, but like people just gravitate to you, the individual, and the
Mhm.
content that you're bringing, and stuff
Mhm.
like that. Yeah, again, I mentioned right before this video, before we started, is that you and Ken and some other people like John from Let's Talk Entertainment Media, like really influenced me to start my channel. So this is like a great honor to have you on on this video series. So I just wanted to say again, thank you so much, because this is like I said, this is an honor. So yeah.
Well, I mean, I really appreciate it, and I hear that. I've heard that from many people, and I think the thing too, like I kind of when I make these videos, I forget that people are actually watching them.
Hmm.
Like I don't take into account like the number of people who could potentially watch them. So, and you really, you struck on a good point. Whenever anybody's asked me over the years, like, I want to start a channel, what would you give me some tips, give me some pointers? One of them is always just be yourself. Don't put on airs, just be yourself.
Hmm.
Because like people can sense phoniness, and
Hmm.
they'll sniff it out sooner or later if they
Yeah.
don't sniff it out immediately. And that's how you grow, a community.
Hmm.
And like, there's people who are watching me now who've, like there's the little red YouTube thing next to people's,
Hmm.
when they leave a comment or whatever,
Yep. Yep.
and I'll check and like, subscribe for 13 years, subscribed for 10 years. You know what I mean? Like um, you have to be yourself to, I think, to really, that's how you get your sort of ride or die people,
Hmm.
followers, subscribers, whatever you want to call them, just people in your community who care about what you do. Just be
Hmm.
yourself.
What was the first video that you can remember where you felt confident enough to continue what you're doing?
Gosh, that's a good. I I guess this plays into my what I said earlier about not really putting a whole lot of forethought or planning into things. I just kept doing it because I enjoyed doing it, and I was getting, good feedback from, my followers, and or my subscriber, whatever you want to, my
Hmm.
community. Even though the community was smaller then, I was getting really good feedback. And of course, that gives you confidence. Of course, you're hearing, oh, that's, good review or good, cool video, whatever the converse, you're reaching people, you're having some sort of an impact on people. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So I don't think it was ever like an issue of confidence. And again, I guess it plays into the fact that, like I said, I don't really think about how many people are going to watch the video.
Hmm.
And so it always kind of blows me away if I see a video like, oh, this video has somehow got 50,000. This one got 100 something thousand. This one's got 1 million views. Like, I don't, that kind of thing doesn't really cross my mind. So I don't know about if there was ever a point in time where I gained the confidence to keep going. I just kept going. And I remember when I hit the 700 subscriber mark, I remember thinking
Hmm.
like, holy crap, 700 people? Like for some reason that number just really hit me hard. Like, wow, like I guess I'm, you know, I'm doing something here, right?
Yeah.
So I just remember that number for some reason when I hit it was very, yeah, impactful. That was like a big moment, you know?
Mhm.
So, yeah, I don't know. I guess I just always had the blind confidence, and I'm just keep doing this. I'm having fun doing this, and hopefully people will watch, and
Yeah.
hey,
That is the key. What you just said. As
yeah,
long as you're having fun, and I think again, like YouTube at least gives you the platform for like live streams and of course the basic videos,
yeah,
and so that helps me mentally, right?
yeah.
So
But
yeah.
but the the and I don't think confidence is something that people necessarily lack. I think you have to have at least these days some measure of confidence to eat, because I always say this about YouTubers. Anybody who points a camera at their face, they give their opinion on anything, and then they post that on the internet. Like my hat's off to you. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I'm That's not easy.
Oh
And sometimes the feedback you get isn't always positive. You open yourself up to the good and the bad. And so I always commend anybody who's got the confidence to point a camera at themselves, give their opinion on something like a movie, and then
yeah.
post it on the internet. I think the problem, a lot of the people who, like I said before, have reached out to me and asked about pointers or whatever. You know, they put out that first video, they put a lot of time and effort into it. Maybe they invest a little bit in a nice new microphone, a nice camera, some lighting,
Hmm.
that they get some cool editing software. They spend hours on this video to make it look as perfect as possible and sound as perfect as possible. And you know what I mean? And they put it out there and it gets 0 views, and they go, well,
Yeah.
I guess I'll just not do that anymore.
Hmm.
And you have to stick with it. You have to stick with there. You have to have some sort of longevity in mind, I think, especially today, because there's so many people out here doing this now.
Hmm.
And if you're starting your channel today, you're putting that video out, the YouTube algorithm, it's not even going to blip on that on the algorithm. The
Yeah.
algorithm's not going to touch it with a million foot pole. So
Oh
you
man.
you just
Yeah.
got to keep going, keep going, keep going, keep putting in the effort and the time, and people will find you. It's not you're not going to be an overnight success. I don't know if anybody's unless it's like a big celebrity, or
Hmm.
you're friends with a big YouTuber and they shout you out or something. It's not going to be an overnight thing, and a
Oh,
lot
for
of people
sure.
expect that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, because the people that they watch most likely have those large amount of viewers or
Mhm.
subscribers. And so, yeah, I can definitely see that. And it's a fucking grind, man. Oh my God. Yeah, they're just like anyone else, the ups and downs,
Well,
going through this. And
and
yeah.
we were talking before we started, and you told me about your life off YouTube. You have a very
Hmm.
busy life off YouTube. I have a very busy life off YouTube as well. So you also have to factor in the time that you're
Hmm.
putting into your channel. That means time away from friends, family, loved ones. And that can also be a burden to some people.
Yeah, so I'm going through that right now with finding the right mix with my family, work, friends, and everything. I know that for me, I started this channel to reach out to other individuals who are same minded as me, at least close to it, because I'm an avid horror fan. And we're going to talk about that here in a second. But also, of course, your other love is collecting those wonderful movies that you have grown up to, have beautiful, wonderful memories with loved ones, friends, etc. And so, collecting physical, media and all that type of stuff. I mean, again, like look in the background, man. You
Mm.
have tons of memorabilia, which it's truly incredible, and it's nice to look at. in the back. But
A pain, a
yeah.
pain, a pain in the ass to dust, though. Oh,
Oh
the dusting thing. Oh, oh. That's an all day thing right there. It just
oh,
to
I bet.
dust. So yeah.
You got to hire Mr. Clean and.
Oh, oh.
Oh man. So we just touched upon, and I gotta talk to you, man, because again, my interest is horror, is physical media, is movies, collecting those movies. Um, I have to know. So you mentioned how much that the video store was to
Mhm,
you, right?
mhm,
How nostalgic, and all the wonderful memories that you had as as a child, because I had them the same too. And I just watched Mel from My Killer Podcast. No, My Killer. Yeah, My Killer Podcast. Yeah, yeah. And she had a fantastic video just about how nostalgic that feeling was with her and her mom. And I
mhm,
had the exact same thing with my father. Even like she mentioned, it's funny because it's damn true. Back in the day, you go to the dang store to like Albertsons or whatever it was, and there would be a rack of movies you could just go and buy, and or rent, and it was big.
mhm.
And so who and yeah, if you, I don't think you said it, but if you did, I apologize. But like, who was the individual that like got you into, the horror genre and collecting those movies?
There really wasn't. There really wasn't a single individual. It was just. It was when I was in the video store, that early memory of
Mm-hmm.
finding myself in front of the horror section.
Mm-hmm.
That did it there.
Mm-hmm.
That alone did it. So I feel like the horror genre called out to me, and it pulled me into it. You know what I mean? So that's but when I my mother liked going to the video store too. So I went
Mm-hmm.
with her a lot.
Okay.
And of course if I wanted to rent a movie, I had to take her the box. She'd look at it, look at the front, look at the back, and
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, no. No, no, no.
Yep.
No, no, no. So, all the big horror franchise, aside from Halloween, like for her generation, Halloween was like Scream for the 90s generation.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not a horror fan, but she loves Halloween. So another early memory of mine is watching Halloween 2 on television with her. Or it might have been on video. I don't remember. This was so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember the scene so vividly of when poor Ben Tramer gets hit by the police car
Oh my God, it's so brutal.
and he gets pinned up against the hippie van and then it all just explodes. I remember thinking, like, my God, what a way to go. Like, to add insult to injury, you get hit by the police car, you're pinned up against the hippie van, and then it all just blows
Mm-hmm.
up. Like, that is brutal.
They didn't
So,
hold back in that damn scene.
so Halloween was okay.
Yeah.
Halloween was okay because she'd seen it. She knew it was okay. So I got to watch Halloween a lot, and I
Mm,
recorded it off of television, and I wore that tape out. But the
mm,
big horror franchise, other than Halloween, was a big no. Like most things were just no.
mhm,
She was if it was like vampires, sure, vampire stuff was okay. So I rented The Lost Boys a million and one times.
mhm.
Jaws was another one she was okay with because she'd seen that one at the theater when it first came out.
Yeah.
So rented that one a million times, recorded it off television, wore that tape out too. So the early video store stuff is definitely, it's all about mom, and it's about mother and rejection because everything I wanted to rent, she rejected. So yeah.
Oh man. Do you remember what was the first horror movie and that really impacted you um
Mm.
very vividly?
Yeah, yeah. So my stepfather brought home the VHS of Friday the 13th Part 7, A New Blood. And my mother was like, no, 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 no. And my stepdad, Danny, was like, it's just a movie. He wants to
Hmm.
watch it, let him watch it. So she sort of mildly objected, and then finally she gave. And that was the movie that really just kicked down the door to the entire genre for me, minus Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Because even then, Mom was like, "I'm not letting you watch a movie about people getting cut up with a chainsaw."
Yeah.
But I had free reign pretty much over everything else. So that, and I was dying to see Jason and Freddy, dying to see those
Hmm.
guys. But it was Friday the 13th that really, like, I don't know, just stole my heart. So
Hmm.
but it really all starts with the New Blood. That's the one that kicked open the door to the whole genre. It opened me up to the entire horror genre. And gosh, I wish I knew what from part 7, which in what order I watched all the Friday the 13th. I really wish I
Hmm.
knew, but I just, from that point on, it was like whatever I wanted to rent, aside from Chainsaw, of course.
Yeah, of course. Um, One is Friday the 13th your favorite horror franchise?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. And is Jason your favorite horror villain?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I thought it would be Leatherface, man,
Well,
because you do have.
Chainsaw is my favorite horror movie. I think that is the most impactful horror movie. Uh, it's the Godfather of the genre, in my
Hmm.
opinion. It was the
Hmm.
first contemporary American slasher film. It created that archetype that people are still using to this day,
Hmm.
and this was 50 years ago.
Yeah.
So, and there's just something about that movie that is so powerful and intense, and it's raw, and like you can smell the sweat, and you can smell the gasoline and the chainsaw, and that rotting meat, and
Hmm.
there's just something. It's so evocative, and it just swallows you up, and I love that about the movie.
Hmm.
And it's just such a, I don't know. There's a point in that movie when Leatherface first appears, which is the best villain intro in any movie, in my opinion. From there on, the movie's just got you by the balls, and it does not let go to the end.
Hmm.
So,
I always say like that movie is one of the most effective because it hits you right out of the gate with it says like it's based off a true story. It's the deep voice of the narrator. It's the
mhm,
sound design, right, of the flash, and then the
mhm,
imagery
mhm,
right there, right in front, and
mhm,
in the beginning. And I absolutely love that. That
mhm,
to me is one of the best intros. It's not my favorite horror movie. Mine is Candyman, and Candyman is my favorite horror villain. But I really think that TCM is one of the best intros ever.
mhm,
Because it has that realism, and that's one of the thing I love about the horror genre is that there's so many different subgenres, that there's one for someone. Like for me, found footage, it's that realism
mhm,
that I just gravitate,
mhm,
and that's why, again, I think that Texas Chainsaw Massacre is so powerful, and it
mhm,
still is today, and it's regarded. It's always like that one or The Exorcist is
mhm,
generally like one and two, at least of what I've found, and especially
mhm.
with talking with many people on YouTube and just social media in general.
Yeah.
Those are like the like Mount Rushmore for
Oh,
sure,
sure,
man.
for sure.
Oh man,
Yeah.
yeah. And you know what, Biz? When you were talking about it, I could feel, I can see it like in your eyes and in your voice, and that's part of the damn reason why I love doing these type of interviews, or just talking with people in general, because that's what I look for. It's like just people who are so passionate about a said movie that has really affected them, and they can just go into it. To
Mhm,
me, that's one of the things that I truly, truly love, because I get to know you a little bit more. or just the person who I'm talking to, and I just love it, man. So
It's in
yeah,
my shirt too.
I know. Yeah. I love it. I just had to say that because again, I love seeing the passion. I love hearing about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Yeah.
makes me want to watch TCM.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah. What I have to say it. I gotta ask it. Is there a movie? Because we talked about Texas Chainsaw Massacre and how that movie is pretty unsettling for some people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of the imagery. Is there a movie, a horror movie that is pretty unsettling for you? Like, what's the most unsettling movie that you have watched that you're like, no, I don't need to see it again?
Oh,
Or maybe a movie you wouldn't even see because of the
uh,
subject.
the Greasy Strangler, absolutely disgusting, just gross and disgusting. Oh, you've clearly never seen it because you're not laughing right now.
No, man. No.
But that one's pretty. That one just makes me want. I feel like I need to take a shower just thinking about that movie.
What year was that made? I
Oh
never.
God, I don't. It's not that old. It's not that old. I
Oh,
don't recommend you watch it. I mean,
okay.
it's like a running joke on my channel. People mention the Greasy Strangler, and I just kind of get the chills.
You know what I'm gonna do, man.
Well, you watch it right after
Yeah.
Hills Have Eyes too.
Double
Uh,
feature.
there you go. Um, like a genuinely disturbing film. Hmm. I was actually talking about, well, it's not a disturbing film, but it was a scene that definitely was uncomfortable to watch. I was talking about this on a live stream not long ago, but
Mm.
it was in Doctor Sleep. Have you seen Doctor Sleep?
I love Doctor Sleep. Oh my god.
When they catch that kid after the
Oh my
baseball
god, the
game,
baseball kid.
yeah, and
Oh my
they're
god.
torturing, slowly torturing the baseball kid like that. That is a difficult scene for me to watch. That's
Yeah,
such a powerful scene, and
yeah.
that kid is just giving it his all. Um, but yeah, that was a tough one to watch in the theater. Like that made me uncomfortable to watch in the theater. And I give I give Mike Flanagan big props for that because it's very if a horror movie can make me feel anything, then like great. But like if you can genuinely make me uncomfortable, and
Mm,
that scene did it. So
mm.
kudos there. Let me see if there's. I actually made. Hold on. You actually kind of read my mind because I was thinking about doing a video, um, about like the movies that upset me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I was trying to put a list together, but of course, Doctor Sleep is on there. Um, but uh, you know, I'm trying to. What was that movie called? Oh God, Martyrs.
Well, okay, the French film. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that one. That one, and I really did not like that movie at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really disliked that movie. But again, like it made me. I watched the whole thing. It brought those feelings out of me, so I'll give it kudos for that. Not that I wasn't watching it thinking, God, this is such a bad movie. This is awful. Like, oh God,
Mm-hmm.
I was watching it like this is a really good movie, but I don't. It's a really well made movie. I just don't like the way it's making me feel.
Mm-hmm.
So that one was unsettling, unnerving. Um, I guess another recent one that really kind of surprised me at how impactful it was When Evil Lurks.
There are some scenes in there. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah,
Oh, good pick.
that one's got some incredible imagery in it.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're thinking of the same scene where
Oh, for sure.
she's carrying the kid. Yeah. That one was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that at all.
I there's that scene and there's the one where just things really progress when he's trying to pick up his kids and let's just say the pet does
Yes,
a 180
yes.
and I had young girls around that same time who are the same age
Hmm.
and that freaking got me, man. I
Hmm.
was like,
Hmm.
holy cow,
Hmm.
Oh, I always say, um, I will ask this, but one of my favorite movies is Paranormal Activity 3. It never was because I don't know. The first time I saw it, it really didn't affect me that much. But when I became a parent, it like totally flipped the script for me, and it puts me more into the shoes of the parents and everything, how what transpires, and what the hell would I would do with my girls, like all of that type of stuff comes into play when I was watching that movie as a parent. And
Mhm.
so, I always say, if a movie you didn't like, at least try to watch it again,
Mhm.
because you may feel totally different. um,
That's my favorite one of the series, by the way.
That is mine as well.
Yeah, that's my favorite one of the series. There's another movie. It's not a horror movie, but it had a big impact. It's a great movie that a lot of people haven't even heard of. It's called Dead Man's Shoes. And it was very impactful on me because it's a revenge story where these thugs drove this young man with intellectual disabilities to
Mhm.
self-delete. And so his brother comes back into town to get revenge on them. And having
Is
a
that
brother.
John Travolta?
No,
No.
no, no.
Uh,
It's an Irish film, I believe.
oh, okay.
It is so good. It came out in 2004.
I'm gonna look it
Um,
up. I'm gonna write that
Pat,
down.
Patty Considine stars in it. Incredible performance. Shane Meadows is who directed it. It is such a good movie. Like I love revenge movies already.
Oh
Like
my
the
gosh, yeah.
revenge movie subgenres. I love revenge movies, but that one just hits so hard because of the the content of the younger brother, and it
Mhm.
has such a devastating twist at the end.
Oh my god. Okay, man.
Devastating. Oh man.
Sell it. Oh, damn.
Ooh, so good. So good, man. Holy cannoli. So good.
Oh man. Heck yeah, man. What I would say, yeah. What is three of your favorite horror movies? I
Ooh.
guess yeah. Uh, yeah, go on.
Okay, well, let's take Chainsaw. That's my favorite of all time.
I was gonna take, yeah, I was gonna say, like, take that one out.
Let's take
But
Chainsaw out. Um, The Burning
my
is
man, I'm sorry, man. I've been saying for a while how for me, I I think it's better than like any of the like the Friday the 13th movies. I do love part two and part four. However, the Burning is so freaking good.
The Burning hits all of my like slasher movie criteria. You've got great characters that you care about, great dialogue. You've got, it has a sense of humor about itself. You got a great killer. You've got tremendous makeup effects in that one.
Mhm.
Great kills. That is
It's a
just,
revenge film too.
and it's a revenge
It's one of
slasher.
the best. It's one of the best.
I love that movie so much. To
Oh,
me, like I think there's only like that one, like The Burning. I always say that Friday the 13th Part 4 is a perfect slasher movie. Like
mm,
anybody who's making a slasher movie, watch Friday the 13th Part 4 for inspiration. Great
mhm.
characters, memorable characters, likable characters who you don't want to see killed, right? Great kills, great makeup effects. Tom Savini did both, of course.
The ending
And
is phenomenal.
the
Oh my
ending is
gosh.
phenomenal. And uh the Burning is right there too. Like if I had to say who's the perfect slashers, the final chapters one, the Burning is like 1B. So the Burning to me is just such a fun. I can pop in the Burning, and the Burning is a more fun movie than the final chapter, I think.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I can watch it just anytime. I adore that movie to death.
Sounds like it's a comfort film.
Kind of, yeah. And I'm just naturally drawn to slasher movies.
Hmm.
I just love everything about slasher movies. So The Burning is definitely probably number one.
Mm.
I also deeply, deeply love Friday the 13th Part 5: A New Beginning.
Oh, really?
And yeah, and I've been waving the A New Beginning flag for so many years because that, again, the most memorable characters in not just the Friday the 13th franchise, but in any horror franchise. Those
Mhm.
characters in that movie are just absolutely insane. Um,
The mother son.
Ethel Jr.
It's so funny, man.
The dialogue is
So,
incredible. It's got such a dark, dark sense of humor about itself. Um, and and it's so sleazy, and I love the sleaze factor in that one too. Like
mhm.
I could give a darn less. People, it's not really Jason. I don't care. You know what I mean? And then we can get into the whole thing of, well, who or what is Jason? It's a guy in a hockey mask, right? You got a guy in a hockey mask killing people, and
Mm,
most of them are fully naked in some instances when he kills them.
mhm.
Um, so I love that movie. That's another comfort one for me. I can watch it pretty much anytime. And if I had to pick a third one, geez, that's a tough one. Um, mm, I mean, if I'm talking about comfort ones, Sleepaway Camp definitely comes to mind. Silent Night, Deadly Night comes to mind. Phew, there's so many, but we'll just say that's like my top three.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with top three, we'll put two together for number three.
Those are all damn classics and very memorable. And they're iconic for, sleepaway camp, obviously for the ending.
Hmm.
Silent, Silent
Silent
Night,
Night.
Deadly Night, with the character. Are you kidding me? The trauma that he goes through, what
Hmm.
triggers him. I
Hmm.
mean, and I watched it with a person for it was their first time experiencing it, and they absolutely loved it. Just how dark the individual was, and the spiral that he went
Hmm.
throughout the entire movie, because it just went
Hmm.
darker and darker, and there was just no hope. And how the movie opens up, are you flipping kidding me,
Hmm.
man? Like,
Hmm.
that is a very touchy subject,
Hmm.
and everything. So, oh my gosh, man. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, that's when
incredible.
that's when it's not the holidays if I don't watch Silent Night, Deadly Night, and
Yeah.
it's usually the first one I go to whenever I'm getting into the holiday spirit.
Hmm. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of, what's we need to talk a little bit, of course, or not a little bit. We're going to be talking about you as a collector.
Hmm.
Again, that's how I originally found your channel, because in 2019, prior to that, I didn't watch YouTube, like literally at all. I never watched the format. Yeah, I never watched the format. But then once I started to collect movies again, because I had like 400 DVDs, but then throughout moving and everything throughout the years, I had to get rid of all of them, and
Right.
I didn't have a single Blu-ray or anything. But that was the year that I wanted to change things, because I love collecting the movies that I loved when I was younger.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, and so I started to watch YouTube a lot more, um, and so again, that's how I found your channel. What's the first movie that you kept, that you had in your hand, that's your most cherished uh,
Mm.
movie, because that made you want to keep on collecting? Like, for me, it sounds weird, but like, maybe not weird, but it was The Godfather. It was the VHS double stack tape that my dad had,
Hmm.
and that meant a lot to me. I used to have it, and then of course I had to get rid of it, throughout the years. But regardless, like, that's the one that I really remember. It's not a horror movie. It's
Hmm.
that movie.
Mhm.
that meant a lot and that made me want to keep collecting,
Right.
and try to get a little bit maybe closer to like my dad a
Yeah.
little bit. So what was the first one that that you remember?
Um, it, it would probably be The Crow. Because I know it wasn't the first VHS that I owned. I'm pretty sure it wasn't, but it was the one that I was dying to see the most. Like
Mm.
back in the day, there was none of this Amazon 2-day delivery. If you ordered something, it took 4 to 6 weeks to get to you if you're
Yeah,
lucky.
yeah.
And so I remember talking my mother into buying the Crow VHS for me from somewhere. I don't even remember where. And I every day when I came home, I was did it come? Did you check the mail? Is it here? It just never showed up. I don't think she ordered it for me. I think she was pulling a gag on me. But anyway, so eventually one day at Walmart of all places, I'm in there looking
Hmm.
through the movies, and there it is on the shelf. And I grabbed that sucker off the shelf and I took it home, and it's one of only like two, maybe three movies that on VHS that I watched, rewound, and immediately watched again.
Hmm.
So that's the one that I really like cherished. And I cherished it to the point that like I let a buddy of mine borrow it, and when he returned it to me, he had like stepped on the slip,
Oh no.
and he handed it back to me, and I remember just like holding it in my hands, and I looked at him, and he saw like he didn't he was like it's just a card, it's just cardboard, it's nothing, it's paper.
The
Like,
rage.
but I think he saw the rage in me. He was like, "I'm sorry, man. I stepped on it."
Hmm.
And I had some choice words for him about stepping on him too, but um, I was just really shook that he took that little care, not just with my property, but with
Hmm.
the Crow.
Hmm.
So, needless to say, I don't rent I don't rent my shit out to nobody. All right.
That was the one and only time.
My stuff is mine now. And if you
Yeah.
want something, you go buy it. All right. Don't
Yeah.
touch it. Don't touch it. Um, but yeah,
Hell yeah.
that was a devastating moment, I remember. But that VHS like meant a lot to me because I'd waited so long to see the movie, and like I could watch it whenever. Like people I don't back in the day, like to own a video, it's like $100, like videos or more. Like when video stores bought a VH, nobody owned like a VHS. You rented them because like
Hmm.
when the video stores bought them, one VHS was like $100. I've got old VHSs back there in my collection that have the retail price on the back of them.
Mm.
Or not the retail price, but the price that it
For
was
sure. Yeah.
for the video store to buy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the idea of owning a physical media was like very few people owned physical media until like the ET VHS, and that really
Yeah.
that's a very impactful one too for me because that was the very first VHS I ever owned. To be honest, that was it right there. ET,
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that was the very first VHS I ever owned, and that started the collection. Oddly enough, it was ET. It completely surrounded by horror. So in the middle of all this death and mayhem and slaughter was little ET there, just wanting to phone home.
Yeah. Oh
But
my goodness.
and any kid who grew up with ET, I guarantee you, one of their first traumas was seeing poor ET all lying white and dead in that traumatized me. I know it traumatized other people. I've heard from other people like that was a first trauma for a lot of people.
Mine was the never ending story.
Okay.
Where were you? That when the horse he met his demise.
Right, right.
Man, I was bawling. Little Frankie was like, "Oh my god!" Yeah, dude. So I get you, man. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So there you go. That opened up that memory. Yeah, that was the very first VHS I owned. Yeah. I got in trouble too because my mother ordered it for me from like just this local little grocery store. And every time we would go there, I would ask the guy, like, is it here? Is it here? And no, no, no. And then they told me, like, it's supposed to be here today. So we went to get it and it wasn't there.
Oh,
And I got pissed. I was just a little kid, but
yeah.
I got in trouble because I called the guy a turd. Like my mother was dragging my mother was dragging me out of the store. I was so mad. And I remember turning around and calling the guy a turd.
Oh my God.
And I got and I, you know, I got my butt whooped when I got home
Oh
because
yeah.
I called him a turd. But you know, don't tell me ET's going to be there today and it not be there today. All right, you will get called a turd.
Oh my gosh. Hell
So
yeah, man.
yeah.
That's so good. Oh. All right. We got it. We're gonna be talking about it. What is your top 5 favorite pieces of physical media? The movies in your collection. It could be just because of the release. It could be because of how the sentimental value of that movie is. Um, yeah, man, I love to hear about it. So, what are your 5?
Well, two of my favorite pieces of two of my favorite pieces that I have down here. I couldn't get them for you because they're attached to the wall, and they're both posters.
Okay.
One is that Dawn of the Dead poster you see right there.
Yep.
Because it's autographed by George Romero. I got to meet him. This was just a couple of years before he passed away, and he was in Kentucky at a convention some years before then, and I couldn't go. And I always remember kicking myself like that was it. That was my only opportunity, and I blew
Mm-hmm.
it. I'll never meet the man. And then he got booked at Scarefest again, and come hell or high water, I was gonna meet George Romero. So, got to meet the man, had him sign my Dawn of the Dead poster. He actually looked at it and he goes, "Is this an original?" And I go, "No." I just bought that thing off eBay. And he was like, "It looks so good." And I was like, "Well, I'll tell this." Afterwards, I emailed the seller and I was like, "Dude, your reprint was so good, it fooled Romero himself." So I got to meet Romero, got him to sign my Dawn of the Dead poster. That's a big one for me. The other poster that means that's like a big deal to me down here is my Friday the 13th poster. It's not an original, but that poster has got so many miles on it. That poster's traveled with me to so many different conventions.
Mm-hmm.
I've got pretty much all the principles from the making of Friday the 13th on that poster, with the exception of Betsy Palmer. Never got the chance to meet her, unfortunately. I would have loved to have met her. Kevin Bacon, of course, and Harry Crosby Jr. Other than that, I've got pretty much all the principles on there. So
Wow.
that's that poster got a lot of miles on it, man. A lot of miles on it. I do have a couple of pieces of physical media, but I want to show you this. This goes back to the video store.
Hell yeah. Show it.
So I managed to acquire one of these guys. This is a Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning video store promotional lamp.
What?
And it's the light still works, everything still works on it. It's a beautiful, very rare piece. And I keep it. It's the centerpiece of my Friday the 13th, A New Beginning shrine I have. But it's beautiful piece. And I was lucky enough to be able to grab one for not, I didn't have to, sell a kidney to do so. But and these are pretty hard to come by these days. So I love this thing here. Now, when it comes to physical media, I grab two things, not because like they're super rare, not because they're super expensive, just because they mean a lot to me.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one is the Friday the 13th box set from Scream Factory.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, it's Friday the 13th, and I love Friday the 13th with all my heart. But on the bonus disc, they actually used footage that I shot at the camp where they filmed the original Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like just a huge honor, being a huge Friday the 13th fan, for them to reach out and say, hey, can we use your footage on here? So that was a big deal for me. That means a lot to me to
Because you were
have.
nominated for a Rondo, right?
No, didn't get nominated for, I don't think so.
Oh, okay, okay.
I don't think so.
Okay, I thought there was something that you um, got or recognized for
Not that I'm
that.
aware of.
Oh, okay, okay.
Just that they reached out and asked if they could use that footage, and it's on the bonus disc. And yeah, so I mean, that was just like, to be a part of this was like a big deal for me.
Are you
Um,
credited too on that?
yeah. Oh yeah. I
Heck
have
yeah.
a I have a cinematographer credit, so I'm a cinematographer too. You probably didn't know that. Yeah.
Nice. No, I didn't. I should have known.
YouTuber and cinematographer.
Multi
and,
talented.
and actor when the Mutilator 2 comes out in June. Look,
There
man,
we go. There
I'm
we
just
go.
I'm a talented guy. You know what I mean? And another box set. This one also is from Scream Factory. It's the Halloween box set that came out a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
This is such a I don't so like for years and years and years, people would ask me, "Do you ever think we'll get a complete Halloween box set?" And my response was like, "Never going to happen. Never happened." Because, like, Anchor Bay owned parts 1, 4, and 5. Universal owned 2 and 3. Miramax owned 6, 7, and 6 and 7, or no, 6, 7, and Resurrection. 6 H2 on Resurrection. And then I think MGM owned the zombie movies at the time. So I was just like, there's no way. And people would always ask too. Well, including Halloween 6, the producer's cut. Now, like, no, it's never going to happen. There's no way all those companies will come together, make a deal, put them all in one single box set, and have Halloween 6, the producer's cut. Never going to happen.
Yeah.
And here it is. So like the mountains that had to be moved for this thing to happen is pretty incredible. And I love Halloween 6. I love Halloween 6, and I love the producer's cut of it. And the fact that really Halloween 6 is kind of like the centerpiece of this whole box set, because that's the one you get the producer's cut finally, an official release of the producer's cut, and there's just tons of extras for part 6 that we've never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
So like the fact that it's kind of like the centerpiece for this set, it just makes it even juicier for me. But yeah, just the fact that now this is pretty expensive because it's long out of print, and if you want one, you got to go to eBay, and
For sure
you're gonna pay dearly for it.
Yep.
So,
oh my goodness,
there's 5 of my cherished, not just physical media but collectible things down here. So there's other stuff that's more rare or that's more expensive or whatever, or more sought after, but like those things are like the ones that really mean a lot to me.
Yeah, and of course that's what I care about, because getting to know you a little bit more. What So, of course, with everything that's going on with the landscape of physical media, buying movies and everything, um, I want to talk about is that I think we're in a fantastic era of like so many movies are getting released from various labels, so many damn labels. I don't know if it's the golden age, but it just feels like there's, even though the accessibility for it isn't there in person, like online, it's incredible. Like there's so many different places to go. You just, unfortunately, you kind of have to you got to know like where to go. What do you think of the landscape right now that we're kind of going through of physical media?
Well, I think it is kind of a golden era, but I think we've had 2 golden eras in physical media, And the first one happened way back in the day with the original Anchor Bay. Anchor Bay back in the day, they did so much for the horror genre, and for they did so much in the way of introducing people to not just, they released Halloween, they released the Halloween a million times, they released Evil Dead 2 million times. So they gave us really awesome editions of those movies that we all know and love.
Mm-hmm.
They pretty much single-handedly introduced horror fans to Italian giallo, to J horror,
Mm-hmm.
to just horror from abroad. Like, I'd never heard of Dario Argento. I'd never heard of Lucio Fulci. I did actually rent Opera before I even knew what it was. It just looked like a slasher movie, and I rented it and I brought it home and I was like, "What the heck is this?"
Something's wrong with the audio track.
It's like, what is, or like, why are we following a crow around in this? So it kind of, it was a little over my head at the time, but
Yeah.
they introduced the horror genre, or the horror fans to, they just opened up, so they did so much for the horror genre when they first launched. And those titles were just like, I remember going to Sam Goody, and if the movie had, if the spine of the DVD, and they did VHS too, if it had that little clipper ship on it, that logo, Anchor Bay logo, even if you've never heard of the movie, you'd want to see it, because like if it had the Anchor Bay stamp of approval, you wanted to see it. So they just did so much for the genre, not just giving us great releases of, the classics that we love, but again, introducing us to Dario Argento, Lucio Fulci, all the great, Mario Bava, all the great Italian giallo films, J horror, and also, the really sleazy, the Hell of the Living Deads and the Rats of the world. So, that kind of thing too. That to me was a golden era of physical media for sure. That was just a golden era of being like a horror fan, honestly, because it was just so exciting. It was so exciting. But I think we are I think we've been in a little bit of a golden age of physical media for the past few years, because we have all these great boutique labels who are, doing what Anchor Bay did back in the day, which is that, they're giving us new releases of the classics, while, going back and getting these movies that have been trapped on VHS for, 30 years.
For sure. Yeah.
Restoring them and giving them a new life with a new release. And, like every year I make like a list of movies that are trapped on tape, deserted on DVD, etc., that need like a new release. And every year that list just gets shorter and shorter and shorter. And I think that's just so cool. And, the Arrow Videos of the world, and, Scream Factory and Severin and Synapse and TerrorVision and Vinegar Syndrome. I mean, they're just, I think we might be getting close to the tail end of this second golden era. Because I'm seeing some of these boutique labels doing what Anchor Bay was doing at the end of their run, which helped them kind of, the ship sank, which is they just kept releasing the same thing over and over and over and over again.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, it's like, here's the 50th release of Evil Dead, and here's a brand new extra. We talked to the, the guy who brought Bruce Campbell a coffee. He did a commentary.
New special media.
Yeah. So that warranted a new release of Evil Dead. So I think we've had two big golden eras of physical media, but I think we might be getting and physical media sales are actually up, and physical media is doing pretty good. But I think we're getting to that point maybe where we're running out of titles to release, or like I said, we're getting to that era where just releasing the same stuff over and over again. Maybe just a shiny new package or a steel book, or here's a brand new slipcase, or you know, new
Scream Factory.
yeah, yeah, yeah. New audio commentary with the craft service guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
um, yeah. Again, because I collected pretty late into the game, and so I never experienced the Anchor Bay and all those other different labels. And I love hearing about it from you, from Christian, from Garrett, because I just love hearing your guys' memories, all the stuff that I don't know about, and just how you exactly what you
Those
said.
guys weren't around during the Anchor Bay. They were 11 when Anchor Bay. They probably weren't even 11 when Anchor Bay was around. The real Anchor Bay. Come on. Come on.
But yeah, Christian for sure. I
They were
think.
in they were in elementary school. Come on.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I just love hearing about it and just seeing, because you're not the only person who pointed out the similarities of said some big labels who are just doing the same thing, that they noticed, back in the day, and so it is disappointing for sure, because like Scream Factory was my gateway into collecting the horror movies that I love,
Mhm.
and to see what's kind of happening. Although I really like that Mario Bava set, I'm probably
Oh
going
yeah.
to get it because I don't have any of those movies, and I love Italian horror. I love giallo. It's probably like my third favorite like horror genre.
There's
Ah,
there's some
yeah,
there's some really good ones on that Bava set. I've got it pre-ordered too. There's some really good movies on that Bava set. So
hell yeah.
and if you're seeing them for the first time, you're in store for
Oh, I
some good
know.
stuff.
Yeah, I
There,
have
there
Blood.
would be there would be no Dario Argento or Lucio Fulci or
Mhm.
any of those guys without Mario Bava.
For sure. Yeah, I just did not too long ago an Italian horror collab with a bunch of people, and like Daniel and everything. Just tons of people who just love giallo Italian horror
Mm-hmm.
films.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah, it's just like what you said, man. With Even though I haven't been collecting long, like I've been very passionate ever since 2019 and trying to get as much knowledge of the boutique labels, everything that's kind of been going, releasing, and new editions and everything. And like, to me, the best label that had the best year that I have seen was Arrow over 2023,
Mm-hmm.
when it was literally hit after hit after hit of
Mm-hmm.
the Hellraiser box set, the Bruce Lee box set. I mean, just not it was just like so many incredible releases, at least definitely ones that gravitated to me. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't believe what the hell was happening. It's like, oh my god.
Well, that was, I mean, like when Scream Factory first, my memory was like Scream Factory just came out of nowhere,
mm,
and they just dropped all these. It was like Halloween 2, Halloween 3, and just they started with Halloween 2 and 3, and it was just like like they were on fire for about a
mm,
2-year period. It was insane, the stuff they were putting out, and all new extras, and fancy this and that, and like that was wild. Like that was just such an exciting time, because like, oh, there's a new guy on there's a new kid on the block, and they're just
mm,
dropping banger after banger.
mm,
So it was that was an exciting time too, man. That was an exciting time. So yeah, it's kind of sad to see that, you know, they're kind of, I mean, they remind me a lot of Anchor Bay toward the end of Anchor Bay, because they're just putting the same stuff out over and over again. Now
mm,
the Bava set, that's the first thing I've been really excited about from them for a long time.
mm,
So I don't know, man. I don't, I mean, I want them to have a comeback, and I want them to, because for so many years too, they were number one.
mm.
They were number one. And now, I mean, they've fallen more than a few pegs down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, even with the short time span that I have been collecting, uh, yeah, I mean, it's just incredible. Um, what one? I always ask this, especially for people who collect movies. Where do you go to buy physical media? Just in case someone who's watching this, they don't know where to go. Like, where do you go?
Oh man, Diabolic DVDs always a great place to buy physical media. Jesse, who runs Diabolic, is awesome. Um, so Diabolic, I would definitely put them way up there on the list. Um, and I get a lot of physical media either directly from the boutique label.
Hmm.
So Vinegar Syndrome, I go pretty much directly to Vinegar Syndrome for the stuff that I want from them. Same thing with Severin. Um, and I mean, maybe I'm just a basic, just a basic B, but Amazon, I get quite a lot of physical media off of Amazon too, because they constantly are having sales where, here's, 30% off. Like they had a big sale not long ago where they were just, it was a Scream Factory sale. They had Scream Factory titles that were, I didn't buy any because I own them all already, but like they had some of them were half off, 50% off. And these are like some of the newer titles too, not the old
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, that was
So
just a few weeks ago. Yeah.
yeah. So, but and the thing with if you buy anything from Diabolic and there's any issues, Jesse's going to take care of you. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
you're not going to get that kind of customer service with like an Amazon or some, you know what I mean? So
For sure. Yeah. That's where I got one is that's where I used to go to all the time. That's where I got the Neverending Storybook. When it arrived, it was damaged. And Jesse and him and his wife, they just were so awesome at responding because it was
mhm,
literally right before Christmas. And so yeah, I mean, I always suggest them, the Movie Room, Orbit, stuff like that, people like that. um, but yeah, again, it's pretty accessible. You just kind of know where to go.
mhm, mhm.
Um, but who
And,
who?
and Jesse too, he gets a lot of the import stuff in also. So I
Mhm,
mean,
mhm.
like if you're looking for something a little more, you know, uh, from different regions or whatever, he gets all that stuff into.
Oh, for sure. People know me. I love Turbine. I love Cape Light. The
Oh yeah.
German labels.
Mhm.
I mean, I love them, man. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
some of my favorite releases are from them.
Yeah, I did a video about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Chainsaw 2, and their Leatherface Media Book 4Ks.
Oh, dude, yeah, you had three
Mhm.
of them, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that looked beautiful. Oh my
those are
gosh,
beautiful,
very
beautiful releases.
detailed, man.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
that's one thing that I love collecting media books, man.
Mhm.
At least I've been finding myself at least gravitating a little bit more because holy, even though I don't know what the hell they're saying in the inside the damn
Right.
book, but geez, man, the
Yeah.
art design is incredible.
Mhm.
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh,
Yeah.
man. Who's your favorite label right now? Boutique label.
I mean, it would have to be Arrow. Arrow's the one that's just stayed the most consistent over the years. Um, Plain and simple. They've just stayed the most consistent. They just keep dropping banger after banger, and their releases are just really top notch. And
Hmm.
you know, so Arrow would definitely be, I think, number one. Um, and then I don't, and then from there, like I don't know. I mean, I'd really have to kind of think about it because Vinegar Syndrome to me has kind of dropped down a peg or two too. Like my excitement level for Vinegar Syndrome releases is really like they've not released anything in a while that I've been like, oh my, like I've got to get this thing immediately.
Hmm.
Their last several, like, big halfway to Black Friday sales and their reveals have just been really kind of underwhelming to me. So um they've kind of dropped down a little bit for me too. But Arrow has just stayed consistent. So
Hmm.
it's Arrow.
Yeah, for me, one and two would be Second Sight and Arrow Video. I
Oh
mean,
yes. Second Sight, yeah. Yeah.
Second Sight is my favorite label.
Hmm.
They to it's kind of like when you said Anchor Bay. If it has that stamp, you
Mhm.
know that it's going to be good. At least to you, it's going to be good. And that's how I feel with Second Sight, with all these damn movies. And I
Mhm.
have, literally, I have not seen a bad Second Sight movie. I love the packaging, the Blu-ray, the 4K transfer. It looks all fantastic, man.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
a that
goodness.
that's a they're another company that just kind of came out of nowhere and just one awesome release after another. That Hitcher 4K they did is just incredible, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I own a lot of their stuff too, and they definitely. I think I would still give the crown to Arrow, but Second Sight's definitely they've come up big time for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Arrow for sure. With all the dang, it's just not horror. I mean, like the Mexico trilogy. I mean, there's tons. Oh man, speaking of, so Pieces, it's right over here. I saw your damn review for it, and I knew
Mm,
I had to get it. Same thing with, of course, The Hills Have Eyes Part Two, but Paces, man, oh my gosh, that
mm.
is a movie that I think needs to get more recognition, man. That movie to me is such a freaking masterpiece of a
Oh,
film.
oh,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh,
That's another one that's like a comfort watch. I can just put that on anytime and watch it. That one's just so wow.
so good, man.
I mean, you talk about lightning in a bottle. That's a once in a generation kind of film. Pieces. My God, what a movie. Oh, have you seen Slugs? The same director from the same director.
No, I heard that I need to see that movie. I
You
need.
need to see Slugs.
Oh.
Arrow put out a really good release of it a few years ago. It's not on Pieces level, but we're talking about giant, well, not giant, but really big carnivorous slugs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's all I need.
Okay, that's all you need. And it's yeah, that director Wampakere Simone, man, he directed some bangers, man. Damn. We lost a real one when he left us.
Mm-hmm. Heck yeah, man. Yeah. You know what? I don't want. I want to take too much of your damn time, man. So I'll end it. You touched upon how what you what you should do for yourself as a creator. Right? Keep grinding, and everything. What is the best advice someone has given you?
Mm, man. Uh,
Because I feel like you've been in the game, right? Yeah,
I've been in the
for so
yeah,
long, and you
yeah.
have given advice to so many people. Like,
Mhm.
what's the advice to you that really sticks out? That again, just kind of made you.
I don't, gosh, I don't remember. I don't, nothing's coming to mind as far as advice that I've been given. Um, I don't know. Even early on, like I don't, well, maybe, I think I mean, I think maybe it's, I don't know. I can't, nothing's coming to mind as far as advice that I was given.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, I think I'm so good that like,
You're again multi-talented.
yeah, people are like, what? Give him advice. That's like, let's give Mozart a piano lesson. You know what I
You're the
mean? Like,
damn Chuck Norris.
exactly. Yeah. I don't. No, I don't. I don't know. Nothing's really coming to mind there, to be honest. I think it's probably to the point now where, like, you mentioned, like, I've been around. I've seen YouTube through a lot of ups and downs, and I think it's and I'm very flattered that people ask me for advice and pointers and tips on how to do really anything. So I think I get that a lot because I think I just I'm old.
And very wise.
I'm old and wise, I guess. Yeah. So I don't know. I think, but like, there's always maybe instead of advice, feedback is something that's also very important to pay
Mm,
attention to from your audience.
right. Yeah.
Um, when it comes to feedback, and I've certainly listened to feedback and adjusted accordingly from feedback. So like,
Hmm.
um, improve your audio, um, or like, a lot of the videos I did back in the day, I just turned the camera on and talked.
Hmm.
And so there would be like, and then in the movie, uh yeah, then that guy died. So there'd be like these big, pauses, or like I would trail off into God knows where. And so I was like, maybe I need to, somebody, I'm sure there was somebody who said like, dude, what's wrong with you? Just concise.
Hmm.
So I think, there's been feedback from my audience that I've definitely taken into account and have, you know, uh, uh, used. So I think feedback would be another big pointer I would give to people as well. Listen to your audience, what they want, what you can, and don't be, if somebody says, hey, your audio sucks, maybe it does. You know, don't take it
Hmm.
personally. Maybe it does, or
Hmm.
I don't know. So I think that's, aside from advice that I've received, I think it's more like feedback that I've taken to heart.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I 100% agree with that for sure, man. I mean, again, I think people want to see you succeed, and they're the best intentions of,
Hmm.
at least that's how I feel, because my interaction with this community, horror, physical, it's been pretty damn positive.
Hmm.
And I think that we're all kind of just looking out for each other because, again, we're all kind of like in a small group, you know, that damn, and yeah, definitely listen to that feedback and don't take that as criticism. Just
Right.
take it as good best intentions.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would, yeah. You're the first person who has said that, and I would 100% agree, because I know for me, I think for anyone, your initial reaction is that they're just being very negative,
Right.
but you notice that the individual is like watching more of your videos, and then you build that relationship, and as you
Hmm.
know,
Hmm.
and so yeah, man, that's
Hmm.
yeah, very good advice, Mr. Multi-talented.
Yeah.
So thank you, Piz, so much for joining tonight. I had a blast. And guys, yeah, if you're not subscribing to Piz, what the hell are you doing, man? Follow him and all of his social media accounts. Uh, Piz, is there anything that you want to, promote or mention that what's coming up?
Um, it's top secret. All my stuff is top secret. No, no. I thank you for the invitation. I appreciate it. This has been a lot of fun, and um, if I have any parting words, it would be, don't watch the Greasy Strangler. Um, and this is probably the last time we're ever going to talk, because after you watch The Hills Have Eyes 2,
Oh,
you're going to
yeah.
be like, this guy owes me money. However much I spent on this thing, he owes me that. So, um, but no, I think in closing, if I can impart some positivity onto your audience, especially anybody who wants to do this, again, be in it for the long haul, be in it for the right reasons. Because I think, a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to start a channel, and then 2 weeks later it's going to become my living.
Hmm.
That's not going to happen. I think that, some of the best, like YouTube has done, there's always negatives, but the positives have far outweighed it. I've been able to, meet and become friends with people that I otherwise would never have met or become friends with because of YouTube. So many great things have happened in my life because of YouTube. I've been able to travel. I've been able to, again, meet really awesome people. I've been able to speak with, people who, um, uh, people who have influenced me, and people whose work I admire, and some of the best feedback. We talked about feedback is, and this kind of relates to my talk of, I don't think about how many people could potentially watch this video or how impactful, a silly video of mine can be. But I've had so many people reach out to me over the years saying like, you helped me get through a difficult time. Or, I've had people say like, you saved my life. Like
Mhm.
I can't just like, how do you,
Yeah.
but the fact that you can have that positive of an impact on someone's
Mhm.
life, just doing this,
Mhm.
that to me is that's such a that's such a reward. And like, it's I don't know how you, uh like how do you respond to someone who says like, you helped me get through a difficult time, or you saved my life. Like, wow. But that's,
Yeah.
to be perfectly honest, that's one of the good things about YouTube, is that you can really have a positive impact on people's lives, and you can encourage people to buy movies like The Hills Have Eyes too.
Sponsored by.
There you go.
Yeah, I do have to say that last year I received a very similar email like that of someone who was going through difficult times, and they mentioned that, and I had the exact same feeling, like how how you described it. Like, I don't know what the hell to say. I'm just a guy who's puts my face on a damn camera, and you have that type of impact, even though you don't think you do.
Mhm,
And that made I was dumbfounded to like, how should I respond, because that's very personable,
mhm.
and everything. So yeah, I know for a fact like how that is, and it's very unreal. It's a surreal moment, I would say.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. Because yeah, even though we do these damn things on YouTube or other social media platforms, what I want is to at least be positive with the movies, with the releases, try to inform people where to go, where to shop, and stuff like that. And,
Mhm.
and so, at least hopefully that's what I project with my channel, and then connect with other people like yourself, or just other great content creators, and collabing with them. So,
Yeah,
oh man,
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So thank you, Piz, so much. I appreciate it. And guys, like I said, follow him and all of his social media accounts. And guys, thank you and have a good one.